Hi guys, happy Friday. Well, hopefully I'll upload this on a Friday. I'm looking at the questions. I will hopefully get through them all quickly. We'll give it a go. Lord knows I taught forever, and I think every question needs every kind of nuanced answer out there. It doesn't. Just reminding myself, it doesn't need that. So I will try and put either like timestamps down below or something so you can navigate, because I'm sure it will get long. Let's dive in. Also, don't mind all my little passion planners in the background. It is a Friday, so that means I get to plant my seeds and then plan out next week. Good times. Anyway, all right, first one. I got a few from like YouTube and Instagram, a few from Facebook messages. Okay, cool. So, my biggest question is more deal with pitching than anything. It's a long, let me just read it. Basically about writing something in advance to send a client. Do you think just sending a few headlines or some social copy would work, or at least be more efficient? Absolutely. I only write copy out like that. My hair is doing whatever it wants to do today. To pitch to a client. For big clients. I mean, I'm talking like big clients that I really, really want. Like I have a list of dream clients that every quarter is about like 20. I usually do not land. They're big. But only like dream clients will like put in that much effort and like rewrite a whole page for them and like send it to them to maybe use just for like general pitching here and there. Sometimes I'll give like a piece of advice that they can use on their site to get more clients or something else, but like I'm not going to rewrite a whole bunch of copy for like a little client. I'm not like super obsessed with maybe landing. So that should save you a ton of time to just do that. How do you turn away clients if they don't want to go away? Sometimes literally just saying your schedule is booked for the next few months. Straight up saying this is not a project I have interest in doing. This happens a lot for me, and sometimes I'm just like you don't have to take on every client that wants your services, right? Like I always say, one day I'm just made a shirt that's just like copywriting is dating. No one will buy it and no one will wear it because it makes no sense to anyone but me. But like you don't have to date every single person who like wants to date you, right? Like it and turning people down sucks, and saying no sucks. And sometimes we convince ourselves like, well, I could use the money, even though you're very aware that it's a red flag and you don't want it. Or I did a lot of projects that are just not interesting to me, and I just don't want to do it. Like no part of it excites me, or something about the client rubs me or the wrong way. And I just say like, one, I will just email it to someone I'm bringing on to like help me deal with emails. So just like reject and say bye-bye, or just tell them my schedule's full. This is a project I can't fit in but good luck. Like, I don't know. You don't always have to be worried about like hurting feelings or rejecting people, because it's not going to hurt your reputation, really. How do you write copy for a physical product that's not a problem solver? For example, a kitchen knife, as in there's no pain points to trigger, or a UVP, unique value proposition. That means you haven't done enough research. Every product, yes, sometimes they're like silly. Like I have a cute little like air plant, like, and does it solve? it's drooping. It's a little sad. Does it solve like a pain point? Not really. It's more cute. But something like a kitchen knife has extreme pain points. If that means you either don't cook or you haven't done the research. I'm a person who spends a absolute shit ton on utensils and kitchen stuff, because a bad knife, oh my god, when you use a bad knife and you're trying to cut like a tomato, which I grow, and it just mushes the whole thing instead of slices. Obviously you have not had that experience in life. A very good knife is worth its weight in gold. You can slice fruit so quick and easy. Oh my. But for products so I disagree with you on the knife part. Obviously, deep dive into very, very high, expensive 300 plus knives and their communities and their reviews and their social media, because you'll see the unique value proposition. I'm trying to think of a product that would not have one. Really. I mean, like an air plant, like my little plant is it's not really solving a pain, but there are unique value. Like, okay, air plants need almost no watering. Like, they mainly survive on their own. You don't really need to take care of them in the way that you need to take care of other plants that are much needier. So it's a low maintenance value plant that you can still keep alive. Like, there's always a unique point and a reason that people buy things. Always and forever. Cool. Second question is, let's say I want to earn 1K per month as a beginning freelance copywriter. Okay, so you are a beginner. That made sense to the first question. Who's self-taught with no experience but well-learned in this? What's a genuine and fast way to achieve that? For the most part, with no experience, you're going to have to work for free. You're going to have to get some experience under your belt. Usually people who are asking me about money and all of that right out the bat, most people, this is going to be brutal, most people are not going to make 1K per month as a freelance writer. Like, they're just not. Because if you're in it for the money, because some social media influencer like Dan Locke or something says that you can make all this money on freelance writing, and then they think it's some easy, fast, quick career to make, like, ooh, an extra 1 to like 5K a month on the side. Like, that is not the case. That is not how this industry works, and that's why I have the channel I do to combat these things. But, however, if you are very, very determined, you could easily hit 1K in like a month. If you're that determined and you really want to excel and you're okay with some brutal beginning feedback and you're willing to work for free and you're willing to put in the work and you're willing to reach out to 100 to 200 people a week and you're willing to build your reputation, a month for someone who really is dead determined. But for the most part, that requires a very, very good amount of skill set, very determination, very ready to hustle, very ready to hurt to get to that point, to grow it that fast, to excel. And of course, wildly dependent on your actual skills and your actual talent. It's just like saying, like, okay, like, if I wanted to become a best-selling author, right? Like, that is so dependent on a wide variety of factors of your skills, your talent, your ability to build an audience, like, so many things. So it's very hard to say without knowing any of your copy skills. Measuring how long it takes to do the work for each step of my services. Every single person when they're starting out should absolutely be keeping track of how long, and there's a million free time tracking things you can just put on your computer, and then you just click a button and say, like, I'm working on a blog, and how long it actually takes you. You need to have ballparks of how long things take you. I know how long almost any kind of page, top to bottom, I can quote quickly. I mean, one, just so many years of experience, but two, I've always time tracked. So at the end of the year, one, I can see how long I've spent on writing. I can start to figure out where I'm losing money. I can start to figure out which services are not working out for me and, like, are kind of like a waste and need to cut, etc. And, like, if I need to charge differently, like, okay, our sales pages, am I doing them faster? Which doesn't mean I'm going to start charging less, but if I'm doing them faster, then that means I can take on more clients at any given time. Those kinds of things. So always be time tracking. Even if you have to do, like, pen and paper and, like, a little tiny, like, field notes notebook and just start tracking your time that way, you need to know how long things take you. One, so you can force yourself to become more efficient, because even if it takes you 9 hours to write a blog, no client's going to pay you 9 hours to write a blog, because it's a blog, it's not a sales page. You need to find ways to make your work faster, and the only way you can do that, what's that saying about, like, what gets measured, something, whatever. Whatever that quote is, something about you can change what gets measured, whatever. You get the point. Generating leads for new clients. My book, Pipeline. I'll push it forever. It is the be all end all. that was talking of my advice on how I get clients. It is not the be all end all of all client generating services in the world. If you go to any bookstore and look in the business section, there are about 100 on sales and generating leads and clients. Like, there are a million approaches to it. This is just mine. Link below. Okay. How to streamline the client landing process, about like emailing, calling, etc., etc. The whole thing of like finally getting them to pay you and say yes so you can move on. It is a lot. You just have to be ready that you're going to talk to a lot of people, and you're going to call a lot of people, and you're going to be on the phone with a lot of people, and you're going to have to charm a lot of people. And not all of them are going to follow through, and not all of them are going to hurry, not all of them are going to whatever it is. And just understand that like the client dating process, this is why like every copywriter should watch. Like, I mean, I didn't enjoy Mad Men. It wasn't like, it didn't tickle the fancy or whatever say it is. It didn't hit well for me. I watched like 4 episodes and got the point. But in terms of the realistic, like charming clients and getting them to like work with you and them liking you, and you have to go, you don't always have to go out to drinks with clients. You don't always have to go out and do networking events. Like, that's not what I'm saying. But there is going to be a lot of dancing to get people to say yes and finally get ready. But once they say yes and give you money, you need to push them to hit these deadlines, these next ones. Like, I need this info from you. I'm going to have the draft here. Because you can't have clients messing around with your deadlines, because then it throws off your entire schedule. So you need to push them just as hard as possible to get these things done and put it in your contracts. And the second that they start messing around, granted, I've been had to be very generous with all of my clients this year, because they're like, great, well, my mom's in the hospital, things are happening. So that's different. But for the most part, push them hard and stay on their asses about it. Cool. How can one practice right? Oh, we are blazing through. Don't me. I'm being brutal and mean today. How can one practice direct response email series copy? Sign up for a bunch in the industries and or niches you want to write about and just see what they do, right? Like, if I wanted to get into the financial world, I would sign up for, I would even make like a separate Gmail account so it didn't completely clog up my own personal emails, because that makes me want to die. And just sign up for like 20, 30, 40 of them. That may be excessive for a beginner, but I don't know if you're a beginner. I assume by asking this you're a beginner. And start like seeing what they're doing, right? Like, okay, what is the trend in these businesses? What are they saying? What do the emails look like? Are they just pure text? Are they image based? How many emails are they sending to lead up to a pitch? That will be a good start. And then from there, you can kind of start to see where you think businesses could do it stronger than their competitors. You'll start to see trends. Like, I'm on a whole bunch of fitness ones, and you start to see some people really crush it with email. They know what they're doing. They have someone smart on staff to help like guide them. And some people suck and they have no idea what they're doing, and you can tell. So those are obviously potential clients down the line. And having that knowledge is a lot more important than the specific writing of it, because you kind of know the formula for what they need and what they can do. Of course, obviously practice. Of course, obviously write some, People ask this all the time, like, how do I start writing copy? And I'm like, you literally go to Google, you pull up a website, you look at their copy, and you write it. Like, sorry. I'm in a mood today. Like, I think people overthink this way, way, way too much. It's like, how do you, yes, there's nuances. Yes. It's just like when I was a trainer and people would be like, how do I get in shape? And I'm like, you go to the gym, you pick the weight, and you lift it. Like, of course there's nuances, and of course, but like, it's not any more complicated than opening up a Google Doc, busting out a little field notes, you know, like, okay, let's fucking do this live. Passionplanner.com. They have a site I'm absolutely obsessed with. So, they have an ad, new, weekly, undated, and passion markers. Great. So I'd be like, okay, that's cool. You know, it's new. Okay, wait, an ad popped up for $10 off your first order. I've already used it. Thank you. Okay. New, weekly, undated, and passion markers. So, the benefit of markers, you can time block, you can color code, you can, okay, and weekly undated. Weekly undateds are like planners that don't have set dates in them, so you can pick them up and stop them whenever you want. So, obviously they're announcing that they're new, but let's say, okay, passion markers. So, or like, I'm not actually going to write it because I write slow. Organize your entire life, or see what matters most with our new passion markers. Start time blocking, get ahead of your schedule, manage it all with our new passion markers. Wow! I wrote copy! That's how easy it is. God, sorry. I'm like, I think because I get this email like 5 times a day of like how to write copy. That's it. You look at it, you go, okay, how can I make that better? Now, of course, it is going to require, especially in the beginning, deep dive into what makes a product special, which is why I always recommend people start with companies that they buy from all the time, that they use all the time, because you know, if I went into like a mommy, I don't have a child, I have absolutely no idea what makes a mom bag or like breast pump or something like different from each other. Absolutely no idea. I would have to research. If you start with companies that you know and you can write about, then you know right off the bat. I know what makes every single foam roller. I know what makes every single dumbbell different than the other one. I know what makes every single squat machine, Smith machine, treadmill different than each other because of my experience. And you have experience in something. Maybe your passion is like food or movies or coffee, gaming. Like, I can tell you what the difference is between like this Switch and an Xbox and a PlayStation 4 and PC gaming and all of the, you know, not all the nuances, but enough. You did the point. That is how you write copy. I swear, you guys are overthinking this way too much. I think because other copywriters, which is why I don't network with copywriters, just not all of them. There's a good chunk of cringiness, but a lot of the really good ones are quiet and they're just doing their money and like just writing for clients. I think people make it complicated so then they can sell you a program so then you can buy from them, and then you end up still confused on how to make copy, because some people end up in my mentorship program after spending thousands of dollars on courses and copies and copy and books and things and teachers, and they still have no idea how to write copy and they don't have a portfolio, which is another rant for another time. But where am I going with this? I don't know. I'm on a rage. How much English do I need to learn a copywriting career? You've got to be fluent. You've got to be fluent in English to do copy well. Now, there are some other types of writing out there, like blogging, affiliate marketing, kind of, sort of, that you could dive into that would help you. But if you're not fluent, conversationally fluent, copywriting is just not for you. Now, that doesn't mean like with more practice, with more working on it, with more learning, with more dedication, with more studying, with more time, like you can't get there. I have been learning French for 15 years, 16, on and off, lots of off. My grammar, I still cannot directly translate well to make it conversational with someone who speaks conversationally fluid French. Now, if you know another language, there are websites in your language that you can do, that you can write for. And there are sites that will need, okay, let's say, for example, you live in India, which a lot of people who watch me are from. And I see my YouTube analytics. And a lot of English sites need a Hindi if they sell anything. There are a lot of languages in India that are not just Hindi, but I'm just going with Hindi just for ease. Is Hindi the major or is it Punjabi? Anyway, side question. They need translations. So sometimes that can be an option of like you can write copy for English sites that need a Hindi version of their site. That's an option. Or there are businesses in your local area. I understand that a lot of people think that America somehow pays better than other countries, which is maybe true. I don't know. Well, I just that the US dollar converts better, so then I get that. I understand that. But if you want to succeed as a copywriter, you have to know whatever language you're pitching fluently. That's all I could have said. That was a long rant for absolutely no reason. I'm just giving people alternatives because I think I get this question. This is besides how to write copy. Like, can I write English copy even though I don't know English that well? My short answer is no. My long answer is if you keep trying, maybe. Practicing my evolving copies, how to. Same thing as before about like answering. How do I know if I'm a better copywriter than before if no one is around to give feedback? That's it. You have to, at a certain point after you've had your own fill of writing copy and having fun, like with your own little pieces, you've got to start working with clients. There is absolutely no shortcut to becoming a paid, excellent, whatever copywriter as without working with clients. Like you have to, here's like you being paid and like you being a good you cannot become an excellent copywriter by just studying it, saving all these swipe files, downloading things, reading copy obsessively until like here's like all of that. And then here's like you actually being a damn good copywriter. And in the middle there is the working with clients. You have to work with clients. This is not a career, like fitness you can do on your own. You don't need anybody to get in shape. You can just do that on your own. You can control your nutrition. You can go to the gym. You can work on things. You cannot become a good copywriter without working with clients. Period. Because that is the whole basis of what it is. It is sales and marketing. And until you are selling and marketing, I mean, yeah, sure, you could, that gap could be your own business. Like you get into affiliate marketing for yourself. You're selling your own services. You're selling things like, that's an option. Like, yes, because then you're directly working with sales and marketing in your own terms and you are seeing results. But until either which way you have your hands on a business and you're working with, pitching to clients and customers, you have no idea if it's better. Okay. That was, fun for everybody, I'm sure. But, I think I would rather just cut to the chase and be honest about what this industry is and what to expect than to sell you a pipe dream and then a course of like $1,000 course. And yes, I'm sure at some point I will release courses and workshops, which is the whole point of the rest of the year, along with opening up mentorship for September and October. Course and like workshops and like really intensive things to like work with people. Will it cost $1,000? I don't imagine that there's any way I can justify that mentally, mainly because I didn't spend that much on my first copywriting courses, so it made no sense for me to do that in my head of that just doesn't seem ethically, morally, mentally right when the best copywriter in the world that I learned from, Ashley Amberjay, I found it. My receipt charged me $150 for a seat in her class. Yes, she had a lot of students in it, but like, so that's where I'm at. Anyway, okay, that was fun. This is going to be really fun for me in 30, 40 minutes that I have to listen to my own rant and edit this down. Sorry, you. Anyway, okay, that is it, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for asking your questions. I definitely appreciate it. When it's Tuesdays and I have like not a single question, just no one's gonna want to be yelled at of like asking questions, which is fair. Anyway, have a good Friday, guys. Happy weekend. Unless I upload this Monday, then kick ass and get shit done. Cool. Bye.